This is it. Let's go. This is IceWolfGem here, and today we're going to be doing another class trial of Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. Last episode, Nagito was murdered. So we're going to find out who the killer is among us. Let's begin!
Now then, let's during the class. If you vote, I'll punch. Oh my, Monami? My cute. You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon?
The world?
Yes, though!
Whoa!
Jeez! How about... This will be my... It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monomi.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so
Probably the traitor
curious.
himself.
If
or
he
herself.
was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Don't say something so stupid! There's no way in hell I'm the traitor!
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito. Is he right? Are they the same person? Or... Torture wounds, survival kit, duct tape, monochrome lunch, let's see.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut it. I'm telling you, they were torturing him!
The reason Nagito's body was covered with...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito!
So that's why he was... What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place! If so, is whoever found the bomb first!
That was Fuyuhiko!
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Why did the killer have to torture Nagito? No, there were wounds on Nagito that were really caused by torture in the first place.
The killer didn't take Nagito's... I'm telling you, they were torturing him!
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito!
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place! If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first!
No, that's wrong. Wait, no. Man! Did I say something wrong? If they're going to find the bomb, whoever found the bomb is the suspect. No, it's not the suspect. No, that's wrong. It's not that.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up!
Well, they're right about that, but there's something off. What is it? What is it? Bonus level 5, torture wounds. It has to be the torture. It must be the torture wounds. That's the old. That would add up.
I'm telling you, they were torturing him!
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito!
So that's why he was so... What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place! If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first!
That was Fuyuhiko!
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
No.
So that's
silence him.
What were they trying to? Definitely the bombs. If so, is whoever found
That was Fuyu.
What about the duct?
I found it.
Maybe
There's no way I'd torture someone.
I don't know. I can't make false assumptions. Maybe it is the duct.
The killer
Maybe it
didn't
is the
take
duct
Nagito.
tape.
I'm telling you, they were.
the reason Nagito's body?
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
I don't think that's it. I think this is it.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything. If he was
That's
being
true.
tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
I'm prepared. I just realized it. It's a trap.
Trap?
Trap.
Stupid Hajime.
Let's see who the stupid one here is. Bring it on, darling. It's the duct tape.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. They wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how it went down. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information. Then, after they killed him,
Retreat.
damn it! Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you obviously assume he couldn't talk. But that was the trap. They wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to?
Pay attention. This is first, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him,
No, that's wrong.
Through those words.
Ooh, baby. Nailed it.
No. There's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
what did you say?
Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors. We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
Are you in elementary
You
school or
were
something?
with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
That's right. He was there.
Blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so we wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Yeah, cuz.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer? If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
I can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Yeah, and right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Where
Which
the
means
oil lighter
it
was.
is plausible to think that nobody...
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not...
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was...
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect. Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
The reason for the fire out there, right. You need to be clearing up that first. Make your argument. Alright, bring it on. Torture wounds, burning raws, outside, duct tape on it. Oil lighter.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
Yeah.
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
No.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves. Crap!
Well, I'm close. Let's take a look at
The
the end.
direct cause of the oil lighter found
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
some kind of setup.
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with
Or perhaps opening the door caused intense wind pressure to tip over the lighter.
No. Some kind of setup was used to start the fire, so what could it be? It was the
The direct
Monokuma
cause of the
panels. The Monokuma panels was used for that. Jeez. Wait. Now that I think about it, they were used to
The oil
open.
lighter
They
found
were
at the crime
knocked
scene.
over when the
killer
door was
used some kind-
open.
lit the curtain
Okay,
on
figure it
fire
out.
with
Some kind of setup?
Did they use
Madness.
the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Based on
No.
the shape of that oil, it can stand upright while the.
If they tipped over the lighter in some, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over.
Or perhaps opening the door caused.
Yes, I agree.
I agree with that. I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels.
Yeah.
A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene. It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
Yep.
Domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
Yeah.
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
Or the one thing to hide the domino effect. This?
Crap!
The killer did one other thing to hide the domino effect. What is it? MP3 player?
I see!
Oh yeah, the music!
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
That's right.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse
That
caught on
makes sense.
fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door,
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
but the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
I thought that was the only entrance to the warehouse. Let's see, the problem Diego was talking about is
see!
The killer couldn't have left.
If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
You don't mean...
But if that's true, this murder...
Hajime? What do you mean?
The person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that. That's not possible. That's not possible.
This is my answer.
It can't be him.
What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah,
That is true.
you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Like he said, it's easily possible to think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. Make your argument! Torture move, burning rose, probably.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
The bar assessment was saying Nagito committed suicide is correct. Nagito tied himself up to... That's okay, right?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible.
That is impossible.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
No, that's impossible, because the...
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front...
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's
Oh, you
obviously...
Tying
bastard!
just the leg, tying both arms would...
You couldn't do much with...
It'd be impossible.
How about if you or if you use your...
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and...
That's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
His right
see.
sheet. His right sleeve. Yeah.
Take a close look. Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Don't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it free.
Yeah, that should be the kick.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, The knife was still stabbed into it, you know.
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. Ah, that much is obvious.
Hajime, you tricked me.
Not only did she try to charge me, now she wants my money back? What the fuck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10...
A way to stab yourself in your right hand, use only your right hand. Okay, there's definitely an answer for that. Torture wound, burn roast, survival knife.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow and slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand. Even if Nagito's... How could he stab his...
If he threw the knife and let the knife, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Yes, that's true!
I agree
The
with that.
plushie!
The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right? If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the...
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something...
Oh my word!
Say it one
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out.
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stabbed into your right hand while your left hand is tied up.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
You say you can't believe it? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right?
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything...
Monomi's sassing me.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. So this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted. And it's too convenient.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Of course, that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed.
Exactly.
But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I also want to believe that there's no killer. But suicide is unimaginable.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
I did say difficult. but I never said impossible.
Huh?
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together. That's how we made it this far up till now.
Everyone working together.
She's right, we made it through several ordeals up till now to do that. And even
Alright,
now.
let's do this.
Make your argument. This is not making sense. Alright, let's listen to this one.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or maybe he used his front tail. I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
What are you saying?
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
If not gonna convince him that he must have used that spear to stab himself, even as arms and legs are tied up, there's no doubt he used some part of his body. The only thing I could use is...
How did
Is
Nagito
what?
stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
The
He
blood
was
on his
only
left
able to
hand?
move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong!
No, that's wrong.
The blood on his left hand was covered in blood on here and here, but not in here.
Hold on.
And nor here.
It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Why?
That's right.
I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange? He
Yes.
only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain. But it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
Gripping.
I see!
He was gripping onto something.
When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear.
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right,
Hey,
that's the
Chiaki,
problem.
what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV.
Oh, I got it!
Really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
What section of the spear was holding on to? The cord!
I see. That's it. Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki?
Yes, it is!
I am sorry.
Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
Nagito was gripping the cord and sending it from the butt of the spear into his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear?
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
That's a long plan name.
One step at a time. What does that mean?
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
Nagito was up, and the spear was stabbing through his stomach. So, if it's just before that, that's it. Could it be the state of the spear and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment? If I put those together and think about it, I should be able to figure it out. Where the spear was and what state it was there before it stabbed Nagito. It was on the vent! Logical drive. Yes! Okay, I remember the controls. Don't panic, everyone. Ow. Man, you receive a lot of damage from these things. Ah! Saw that one. Yahoo! Yahoo! Where was the spear just before it impaled Nagito? Above Nagito. It's logic. Whoa. Oh, I don't like these. I don't like these. Down! My spine? Wait, what's this? Ouch! Rude. Okay, here we go. Question 2. Besides the spear, what else was above Nagito? A ceiling girder. That's what they call it? Woo! Nailed it. Whee! Hello. Hello. Whoa. Hello. Hello. Oh. Goodbye. You have no idea where they're going. Alley-oop? Alley-oop! Yahoo! Question number 3. What item connects both the spear and the ceiling grinder? The spear's cord. And voila! Answer number 3. Nailed it! Woo! Yeah! I am the winner! Oh dear.
It's all coming together.
And voila! We have our answer.
The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
That'd be awesome, but he'd probably use the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. They probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Then, this is for real? He really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Not just that. He did all that while he was gripping the spear? That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth, too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer. His goal was to get us all executed.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
Did he want us to die that bad?
That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
Jeez. And I was starting to feel a little sympathetic towards him. How stupid of me. I completely underestimate his capacity for malice. A mind-blogging malice that threatens us even after he's died. That's the form his malice took. I have forgotten all about him until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at me.
There is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other. It tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. Bastard
It's too early.
committed suicide. It was all done by him so we'd be executed.
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably
What is that
just
kind
my
of-
imagination.
Why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so easy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is,
So what
or...
are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You are right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh? That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer? Understood. Then voting
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is. No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Something related to Nagito's death, and it's something that he couldn't have messed
You're
with.
gonna keep going? Here I thought we were finally finished.
Something related to Nagito's death, a piece of evidence that he couldn't mess with. This?
crap!
The special poison!
Crap!
No? A piece of evidence that even he couldn't. This?
Crap!
Related to this case. What's related to this case? I'm sorry. The military base?
Crap!
I do not know. Trying to think this thoroughly is a lot harder than it looks. Monokuma's ago? Monami's notebook?
Crap!
What? The Monokuma File 5?
I see!
That was it? Oh.
Is it about the Monokuma file?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
Noon sharp. What is that? The cause of death! It doesn't say the cause. It doesn't tell the cause of death. Oh no, you don't. C A Shoot! Jeez Louise! No F. Cause of... Oh my word. D... E, I need an E. Ah! I need an A! Death. This is pathetic. Give me this! Oh my word.
I got it!
That was retarded. It just kept coming everywhere. I don't know what to do.
In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
No, that's fair. I'm playing with his stomach. There are also multiple stem wounds at each of his sides. Furthermore, there is a left. Yeah, there is no cause of death.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was the cause of death.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma,
I plead the fifth!
Here he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
Even during Gundam's case, and before during Nikon's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death? Are you
Yeah.
suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place.
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide. But, it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations. And that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think
No,
we
it's
should
too early.
keep going until everyone is satisfied. Even if it's just to be safe.
You are right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
This is friggin' annoying, but if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Hey, Monokuma, you heard us. The vote is gonna have to wait.
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be all right. That's what
All
I
right.
believe.
Oh, splendid. You guys are so splendid right now. That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
If all of those are united, despair can't shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. The absolute hope that can overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for it. Then in this situation we're in, this might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking. Oh, that's it? Trial suspended.
No, no.
Man, my heart was racing like crazy when I thought the voting time was about gonna start, but when you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Monami? Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand in silence when you're all alone with someone else. So, Monami, Monami and I are best of friends. Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now. Enough! Why do I have to be hating that much? Besides, the fact that you snapped at me like that, I don't trust you at all. Not even a teeny one and how sad. Distrusting your friends is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know. We aren't even friends in the first place. Then, as your older brother, let me say this. You're not even my brother! It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys. Well, there may be some demands for that. Oh, well, I fell for it. I told... I fell for it! Jeez Louise. Well, this is the end of the first class trial. Who is it? Who is the killer? We will have to find that out on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, press that like button. Want to see more videos like this on the day basis? Subscribe to totally free. Share the video with your friends and become the little games to play or just video want to do. Check out some other videos you think you might like in the next episode of Danganronpa. I'll see you all next coming video. Goodbye, everybody!